Welcome to My English Podcast.
Learn, practice, and speak with confidence. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to My English Podcast. I'm Mia.
And I'm Max. Thanks for joining us today. This episode is all about something that sounds boring, but trust me, it's secretly powerful.
Yes, we're talking about grammar and punctuation tricks, but in a super friendly, daily use kind of way. Nothing technical, nothing scary.
Right. You don't need to memorize grammar books. We're just going to show you small things that can instantly make your English writing look clear, smart, and professional.
And with us, as always, is our expert language coach, Mrs. Tina. Hello, Tina.
Hello, both of you. And hello to everyone listening. This episode is for anyone who's ever sent a message and thought, did I write that correctly? Today, we'll fix that.
Let's start simple. Tina, is there one grammar trick that makes a huge difference in writing?
Absolutely. Let's begin with contractions. Many learners avoid them in writing, but native speakers use them all the time. For example, I am happy becomes I'm happy. They are ready becomes they're ready. Using contractions makes your writing sound more natural, especially in emails, messages, or blogs. It softens your tone and avoids sounding robotic.
That's so true. I used to write everything without contractions, and people told me it sounded too serious.
Yeah, like a robot teacher. I am going to the store. I will buy milk. It feels cold.
Exactly. So tip number 1, don't be afraid of contractions. They add warmth to your writing.
Love that. What's another small thing that makes a big impact?
Let's talk about the Oxford comma. Some people call it optional, but it often helps avoid confusion. For example, without Oxford comma, I love my parents, Lady Gaga and Elon Musk. This sounds like your parents are Lady Gaga and Elon Musk. With Oxford comma, I love my parents, Lady Gaga and Elon Musk. Now it's clear you love 3 separate people.
That's hilarious. So, adding just one tiny comma can completely change the meaning.
Exactly. And when you're writing lists, that little comma before and can save you from a lot of confusion.
Here's a grammar mistake I see often in messages, confusing your and your. Like, people write "you're amazing" instead of "you're amazing."
Yes, that one's very common. A good tip is to say it out loud. If you can replace it with "you are," then use "your." If it shows possession like your bag, then it's your. Quick example, wrong, you're the best. Right, you're the best.
That one still tricks me sometimes, especially when I type fast.
Same. Okay, here's another. Apostrophes. I used to throw them in anywhere, like writing "it's" with an apostrophe all the time.
Great one. Here's the golden rule. It's equals it is, example, it's raining. It's equals possessive, example, the cat licked its paw. So remember, no apostrophe in the possessive form of it. That's one of the only possessive words in English that doesn't use an apostrophe.
So strange. English just likes to be weird sometimes.
But it helps to have simple rules like that. Tina, do you have a punctuation tip for people writing emails or captions?
Definitely. Use short sentences. Many learners write long, complex sentences thinking it sounds more advanced. But in English, short and clear wins. Example, long. I would like to inform you that I am planning to attend the event that is going to be held next weekend. Better. I'm planning to attend the event next weekend. Shorter is smoother, easier to read, and sounds more confident.
That makes so much sense. I used to think long meant smart, but now I see short means clear.
Yes, and it saves the reader time. That's always a good thing.
One more writing trick I love. Start with active voice instead of passive. Passive. The book was written by her. Active. She wrote the book. Active voice feels stronger and more direct. Native speakers prefer it, especially in everyday writing.
I think we should all start writing like we talk. That's what this feels like, natural, real, human.
Exactly. And I love how these tips are so small, but when you apply them daily, your writing changes fast.
Yes. If you use even just one of these today, Maybe add a contraction, fix a your, or shorten your sentence. You'll already sound more fluent.
This is such a good start. And we're just getting warmed up.
Yep, we have more tricks coming up. Easy ones, fun ones, and some that even native speakers get wrong.
So don't go anywhere. Stay with us, and let's keep learning together.
Alright, welcome back, everyone. Let's keep going with more grammar and punctuation tricks that can seriously upgrade your writing.
Yes. We're going deeper, but still keeping it super simple. Tina, what's our next tip?
Let's talk about commas in direct speech. Many learners miss this when writing conversations or quotes. Here's the rule. When you write what someone says, use a comma before the quotation marks. Like this, she said, "I'm ready." Not, she said, "I'm ready."
Oh, I remember messing that up in school. It seemed like such a tiny detail, but teachers always noticed.
Yeah, and it instantly makes your writing look more polished when you get it right.
Exactly. These are the small things that show you're paying attention. And here's another one that learners often overlook: capital letters. It's simple. Always capitalize the first word of a sentence. Always capitalize names like John, India, Google. Always capitalize the word I.
Wait, people forget to capitalize I?
They do, especially in text messages or on social media. But even in casual messages, writing I instead of I makes your English look a little weak. Capital I shows confidence and correctness.
I've noticed that. It's such a small thing, but it makes a big impression.
Okay, I've got one. What about there, and there? That one still confuses people sometimes.
Great one, Max. It's a classic. Here's how to remember. There equals a place. Put it over there. There equals possession. That's their house. There equals they are. They're coming tomorrow. A fun way to check, try saying they are in your sentence. If it makes sense, use there.
That helps so much. Like, they're gonna bring their dog over there. That's the full trio in one sentence.
Haha, nice one. Triple win.
Exactly. Learning these in chunks, like little patterns, really helps you remember.
Okay, Tina, what's one mistake that even advanced learners or native speakers sometimes make?
That would be the dangling modifier. It sounds scary, but it just means your sentence starts with a phrase that doesn't match the subject. Here's an example. Running down the street, the wind blew my hat off. Wait, was the wind running? The correct version is, running down the street, I lost my hat when the wind blew. See? The person was running, not the wind.
That's actually funny. It changes the meaning completely.
And that happens in casual writing too, like when we rush and don't check if the sentence makes sense.
Yes, and that's why reading aloud is a fantastic editing trick. If it sounds wrong, it probably is.
Another small one that confused me for years, using a versus an. It's not just about vowels, right?
Great question. The rule is based on sound, not just spelling. Use a before a consonant sound. A cat, a dog, a university sounds like you. Use an before a vowel sound. An apple, an hour, an honest person. So even though hour starts with an H, we say an hour because the H is silent.
I never thought about that. So it's really about how the word sounds when we say it.
That makes it easier. So a hotel, but an honor.
Exactly. And here's a writing tip that's more about style. Avoid using double negatives. Example, incorrect. I don't want no help. Correct. I don't want any help. Two negatives cancel each other out and make your sentence confusing.
That's something I hear in movies sometimes. It sounds cool, but it's not correct.
Yeah, like I can't get no satisfaction. Great song, bad grammar.
Exactly. In formal or polite writing, always go with the correct form.
All right, we've done contractions, commas, apostrophes, voice, and now this. What's one more everyday grammar habit we should practice?
Use parallel structure in lists. That means keeping the same format in all parts of the sentence. Example, incorrect. I like swimming to run and biking. Correct. I like swimming, running, and biking. Or, I like to swim, to run, and to bike. Keep the rhythm the same. It makes your writing smoother and easier to read.
Oh wow, that's one of those things you don't even notice until it's wrong.
And then your brain just goes, huh? Something feels weird.
Exactly. Good grammar often means good rhythm. Your reader doesn't stop or stumble. It just flows.
This has been so helpful so far. I feel like we're learning grammar without the pressure.
Yeah, it's like grammar in real life. Not grammar in a textbook.
That's the goal. Grammar is just the tool that helps your message shine. It's not about being perfect, it's about being clear and confident.
So true. All right, everyone, we still have one more part coming up, and it's full of practical, easy-to-remember grammar fixes that will make your writing even better.
Stay with us. You're already improving just by listening.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to my English podcast. We're in our final part of today's episode, and we've already covered some of the easiest and most powerful grammar tricks that can improve your writing quickly. But don't worry, we've saved more gold for the end.
Yes. We're going to go a little deeper, but still keep things simple. This is the kind of stuff you'll start using in your next message or post. So, Tina, where do we go from here?
Let's talk about one of the most ignored grammar habits, subject-verb agreement. Many learners struggle with this because it changes depending on tense and subject. Here's the core rule. If the subject is singular, the verb ends in S. If the subject is plural, the verb does not end in S. For example, he plays football. They play football.
That's such a tiny thing, just an S. But it makes a big difference.
I've seen people write, she go to school every day. That always feels a bit off.
Exactly. The correct form would be, she goes to school every day. And if you remember that one rule, S for singular subjects, you'll get it right 90% of the time.
Let's stay with verbs for a second. What about verb tenses? I've seen people mix up past and present in one sentence, and it gets confusing.
Great observation. Here's a good trick. When you're writing a sentence, try to keep the same tense throughout. Mixing past and present usually creates confusion unless it's intentional. Example, confusing. I woke up and brushed my teeth. Better. I woke up and brushed my teeth. Past, or I wake up and brush my teeth. Present.
So pick one tense and stick to it, unless there's a clear reason to change.
Exactly. Another tip, and this one's about tone, is to avoid overusing exclamation marks. They can be helpful in casual messages, but if you use too many, your writing can feel too emotional or even childish. Example, okay, thanks so much. Too much. Thanks so much. I loved it.
Guilty. I've done that in texts and emails.
Same. Especially when I'm excited. But I guess too many exclamations make it feel a bit loud?
Yes. If everything has an exclamation, then nothing feels special. Try using one per message or save them for moments that truly deserve excitement.
Got it. Now, Tina, what about words that sound the same but have different meanings, like to, and to?
Great topic. These are called homophones, words that sound the same but are spelled differently and mean different things. Let's break that example down. To equals direction or purpose. I'm going to school. To equals also or very. I want to go to, / that's too much. To equals the number 2 quick test. I ate 2 sandwiches too fast and now I feel sick. That's all 3 in one sentence.
Whoa. That's wild. But fun too.
Now that I think about it, I also used to confuse then and than.
Yes, that's another common one. Then equals time or sequence. First we eat, then we walk. Then equals comparison. She's taller than me. If you're comparing things, use then. If you're talking about time or order, use then.
That clears it up. Now, I have one that always made me pause. When should we use who versus whom?
Great question, and you're not alone. Even native speakers avoid using whom because it sounds too formal. Here's a quick trick. If you can replace the word with he, she, use who. If you can replace it with him, her, use whom. Example, who called you? He called me. To whom did you speak? I spoke to him. But honestly, in casual English, whom is rarely used now. You'll mostly see it in formal writing.
So it's good to know, but not something we need to worry about every day.
Exactly. Use who confidently, most people do.
Okay, let's talk about sentences that just feel too long or confusing. Is there a trick to breaking them down?
Yes, if a sentence has more than 2 commas, see if you can break it into 2. That's a simple way to keep clarity. Example, long. When I got to the office, which was already crowded, I realized I forgot my laptop, so I had to go back. Better. I got to the office, which was already crowded. Then I realized I forgot my laptop, so I had to go back. See how the break gives the reader a mental pause.
Yes, it's like breathing room for the brain.
I love that. Breathing room for the brain. That's a quote.
Another related trick: start sentences with transition words to guide the reader. Words like however, therefore, meanwhile, in addition, as a result, these give your writing a clear path and help the reader follow your idea.
And they make your writing feel more professional, too.
Exactly. And if you're not sure how to use them, just practice. Write a few sentences with however or as a result. It'll feel natural soon.
We've covered so many amazing grammar tricks. Let's do a quick practice for our listeners. Can we do a short sentence and fix it?
Okay, how about, she go to market yesterday and buyed some fruit.
Great one. Let's fix it step by step. She go should be she went, past tense of go. Buyed, not a real word. Correct form is bought, add article. Some fruit is fine, but let's clarify. Final sentence. She went to the market yesterday and bought some fruit.
That sounds 100% better.
And that's the power of grammar. Small fixes, big difference.
Exactly. And my final reminder is this: good grammar doesn't mean complicated. It just means your message is clear. You don't need to use big words or long sentences. Just make sure your writing is clean, natural, and easy to understand.
That's such a nice way to think about it. Make it natural. Make it kind. Make it you.
Yes. And thank you, Tina, for making grammar feel like something we can actually enjoy.
You're so welcome. I hope everyone listening walks away with at least one tip they'll start using today.
All right, friends, that's it for this episode of My English Podcast. If you enjoyed this, go back and practice some of the tips we shared. Try writing a short message using contractions. Check your punctuation. Play with your sentence rhythm.
And remember, every time you fix a tiny grammar detail, you're building confidence and fluency.
We'll be back next time with more simple, helpful English lessons.
Until then, write smart, stay kind, and keep practicing.